Lots of great scoring early on. This is Stacy Lewis on the 4th hole for a long birdie attempt. Todd Lewis with Judy Rankin.
Yeah, long attempt and kind of a complicated attempt.
She would add another birdie on 5. Stacy Lewis, 3 under in her opening 9. Here's Lizette Salas in the final group, her 3rd in the par 5 4th.
Green's accepting shots so well that when you have these short shots, you have to get it close.
And she did that. She would make birdie to get to 16 under. However, the leader heading into Sunday, Shen Feng, off the green for birdie. She drops that birdie in on the 4th, and she is 17 under, 2 under in a round at that point. Making a move is Minji Lee, turned 21 on Saturday. This is her 2nd at the 9th. Beautiful shot there. She would make birdie. She's 5 under in her opening 9, and at the time was 1 back. But Shen Feng here, her 2nd on the 8th.
One of the shorter par 4s, short shot in, perfect shot in, just beautiful.
Tap in birdie for her to move to 3 under on the day, 18 under for the championship. Her playing competitor Lizette Salas has this for birdie, also on 8 to move to 1 back. She knocks that in, continuing her putting performance here in Ann Arbor this week. As we take a look at that leaderboard, it is Shen Feng leading by 1 over Salas, and there's the move by Minji Lee, 5 under through her opening 9. Moria Jutanugarn, also a nice round so far, 6 under through 12 holes, and there is Stacy Lewis as she makes the turn to her closing 9. Other storylines we're following today. Well, first, Jessica Korda off to a great start, playing the final hole. She's 7 under on the day. That's been the low round so far this week at 7 under. And also, Moria Jutanugarn. She's even through her 10 holes. If she makes a big run on her closing 9, she could take over #1 in the Rolex World Ranking.
Yeah.
Go out to number 9. This is Shen Feng. 8 iron. 144 her distance. Hole plate downwind, so that ball's going to trickle out away from the hole a bit.
Start on your ball.
Exactamente.
Salas, who is 1 back, 137. Judy, we talked about how strong she has been on the green with the putter. Tee to green, she's been pretty well strong as well this week.
Yeah, accuracy is her strength, and she's kind of found that again this week. Her short iron play has really been tremendous.
Has yet to miss a green in her closing round.
Beautiful.
Caddy likes it.
Good job.
It's going to trickle onto the green. And she'll have that for birdie. It's anybody's championship here in Ann Arbor. Golf Channel and the LPGA Tour proudly present the Sea-Long Race to the CME Globe. From Ann Arbor, Michigan, it's final round coverage of the LPGA Volvik Championship. We're about 15 minutes from downtown Ann Arbor, Michigan. Nice Sunday morning. Folks are out enjoying some brunch, doing a bit of shopping. They might stroll by the University of Michigan Stadium, the big house that can seat well over 100,000 to watch the Wolverines play. The folks here are having a ball at Travis Point, final round of the LPGA Volvik Championship. And a nice day so far here. Clouds and sunshine, and lots of low numbers out there. Todd Lewis again with the World Golf Hall of Fame member Judy Rankin. Jim Gallagher also joining us calling holes. Jerry Foltz and Kate Cockrell on the ground. We go out to 10. Minji Lee now missing the green on the par 4. This is her third, just 2 back.
Kind of little shot you could think about chipping in, but she doesn't nearly get it to the hole.
Again, turned 21 on Saturday. Celebrating on Sunday with a charge. We go to 11.
Area Chattanooga here at the 11th. Location kind of in the middle of the green, and a little bit of kind of a plateau up there again. Where she won last year at 15 under par, and a streak of 3 wins in a row. There's a good shot.
And Area Chattanooga, we mentioned the fact that she has an opportunity to take over #1 in the Rolex Women's World Golf Rankings, but she's got to make a power move. She essentially has to finish tied for 3rd with one other player or higher. So Yeon Yu, who is ahead of her in the rankings, is not having the best championship. She will not finish in the top 5 today. She's outside the top 50 right now in the field. So she's going to have to really make a move on this closing 9 for that opportunity.
Yeah, tied for 21st right now, and just hasn't caught any fire. She's not played poorly. Every time we've seen her, she's hit the ball pretty well and given herself an opportunity, but she's just not putting up the numbers.
Now the 9th green. Shin Shin Fung looks like she'll be first to putt for birdie.
Yeah, discussing it with the guy she calls her boss, her longtime caddy, Mercer Leftwich. And Judy made the point yesterday, Shan likes when the game is simple, when life is simple for that matter. And he makes it very simple for her. Coaches her around, hands her every club. She'll never grab a club out of the bag herself. And she has been extremely loyal to him. And I've never seen her once even say a negative thing to him. And you don't find that relationship too often between player and caddy, Jim.
You don't, and that's and you know, when you're under pressure, you've got to have that second person there, someone you know you can trust. It's so important to have that, and you rarely find. You go through a lot of caddies until you find one with. You think of a lot of great caddies and player relationships over the years.
I always think that you do not have to have a great caddy, but when you do have that person that is the right combination for you, it's a big help.
Mm-hmm. I'll swing left if it gets up. Oh, it's right in the middle. Oh. Man. Golf is easy. She got this reaction. Yeah.
I'm not sure you get the entire feel of her wonderful personality when she's on the golf course, but one of the most popular players on the LPGA Tour.
Absolutely.
Let's take a look at today's featured group presented by JDX. It's the final threesome in their own words.
I'm Susanne Pedersen. I'm from Oslo, Norway. My first victory on the LPGA was in 2007 at the Kingsmill Championship.
Hi, I'm Lizette Salas from Azusa, California, and I'm a proud USC Trojan. Fight on.
Hi, I'm Shanshan Feng, also known as Jenny Money, and I'm from China, and I was the bronze medalist in the Rio Olympic Games.
Moria Jatanagarn here at the 13th, having a really good day. Hadn't missed a green yet. 6 under on her round. So location on the left side. All right, land right into the base of that hump. There's a giant hump right in the middle of this green, and it'll be an uphill putt for birdie. Good opportunity here at the back to 9th. Lizette Salas now for her birdie.
Her caddy said, perfect on that shot, Jim. And of course, any perfect shot goes in, but nonetheless, he knew exactly where he wanted her to leave it. Underneath the hole, the easiest putt of the 3 in this grouping. Not a lot of break to it.
I do. See you later.
A little indication that it might fall a little right, Jim?
Yeah, it should. It's the hole's cut kind of down and below the hump that goes across this green.
So many little ridges and humps and swells, and for those watching this tournament for the first time this week, they very much give the appearance of a British seaside links-style green with all the little tiny subtleties to them, and because of the adverse growing conditions from a strange spring, they actually look like them.
They really do. Newcomb designed the golf course. He had some influence from Pete Dye, and you see that a lot on Pete Dye greens. So that needs to get up. Oh! Did everything but go in. Lizette with her par at the 9th. She's a couple shots back as they make the turn, heading to the 10th tee. We're at the LPGA Volvik Championship, Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Finally, tour quality performance and...
Hello, this is Don Shin, the president of Volvik USA. Now, this marks our second year as a title sponsor for the LPGA Volvik Championship. We're very excited to bring you a star-studded field of the best female golfers in the world, competing for a $1.3 million purse here in Ann Arbor. Volvik is changing the way the game is played, from Bubba Watson playing different colors on the PGA Tour to the 3 LPGA Tour victories with all different color golf balls. We have brought the color and the performance together to the professional tours like no one else in the history of the game. On behalf of Volvik, we'd like to thank the people of Ann Arbor and the great golf state of Michigan, the volunteers, the great team at Travis Point Country Club, and our golf retailers in the area who have helped us to make this championship a reality. Day weekend, and please enjoy the LPGA Volvik Championship.
Had a lot of fun this week with Chairman Moon and Don Shen. Also want to point out Casey and Ashley Crane, the tournament chairmen, and Keith Carbo. He and his staff doing a great job here, making this a premier event on the LPGA Tour in just its second year. .389-yard par 4. Shen Chen Feng, our leader, is first.
Hitting it so extremely accurately off the tee this week. Only missed, what was it, 7 fairways through the first 3? Only missed 4 fairways through the first 3 rounds. And it's not a wide open course. That's up the right side.
And that's going to hang in the fairway, so another fairway hit for her. Going to stay here. Actually, we're going to go to 13.
Shtanagar now, Moria. This is her putt for birdie. Got to swing just a little bit. Oh, man. You can tell by the reaction. She thought she made that one.
Back at 10, here is Salas, her tee ball.
Lizette's only missed 5 fairways through the first 3 rounds herself, but we expect that out of her. Only 2 players on the LPGA are more accurate off the tee. She ranks 3rd. And there's another one.
Nothing wrong with playing from the fairway.
No.
Fairways and greens, Judy.
Good thing.
Here Shtanagar now at the 11th for birdie. Needs to break. Didn't. That's a straight putt. That is a very deceiving read. Stays at 10 under par.
Go back to 10, Sunghyun Park for birdie, and Kate Cockrell is there.
She played in the final group yesterday. This for her 3rd birdie today. Oh, and maybe she'll get something going on this back 9.
She's now 4 off the lead, 15 under par. And again, we welcome you back to Ann Arbor, Michigan. Final round of the Volvik Championship. Todd Lewis with Judy Rankin and our leader, Shen Feng. If you follow the LPGA Tour, you should not be surprised that she is in the position that she is in right now, because since winning the bronze medal in Rio, she's been very, very consistent and very, very good.
Yeah, I'm really, now that I've studied it, I'm pretty taken with it myself. There were 2 wins since that gold medal, that bronze medal, but they were both in Asia. So I think she's kind of been really playing really well, but under the radar. So she has been as consistent as anybody out here over the last 8 or 9 months.
And here are the numbers to accentuate that point. 15 starts since Rio, 2 wins, 10 top 10s. How about 8 top 5s as well? So she's been playing very, very well.
Well, it's exactly the kind of game that she has, and she's had it clicking on all cylinders. And I don't know if everyone at home would realize just how important the Olympics were to those players who worked and got there and played there, but it was a huge accomplishment for those players who medaled.
Yeah, it lifted the game of golf up, that's for sure as well. And then you have Lizette Salas, who, unlike Shen, came here with not much form, but she has found it here this week. What has impressed you about her game?
Well, first of all, I love the relationship that she has with her dad. He is the man who built her very first set of clubs, Ramon. And after she played so poorly last week and had not been on a good run, she called him and said, "Dad, would you come out and watch me? Give me a little help. I am lost." And he came. In fact, I said to him, "So you came to save the day?" He said yes. And but they're a great relationship. He did help her. She got back to working the ball a little bit right to left off the tee, which is her natural shot. And either through his help or her work, putted like $1 million this week.
Her father was a head mechanic at Azusa Golf Course in California, did favors for the head professional of the course just so his daughter can get lessons with that head professional. So it's a great story there. We head out to the golf course. This is Jatanagarn with iron in her hand on the tee at 12, the par 3. And area just trickling onto the green, so she'll have a look at birdie there. And we go to 10, and Suzanne Pedersen, who's not quite having the day she wanted, she'll be the first to hit.
Having a real hard time getting the ball on the fairway. And this rough is thick. And you can make pars out of it all day long, but you're not going to make a lot of birdies.
A lot of rain here in the last week, and the real serious growing season just starting, so the rough has kind of flourished, hasn't it?
Yeah, well, there are areas of the rough that are more severe than any U.S. Women's Open I've ever seen.
There you see that graphic there. Not under par on the day, only part of the top 20 not under par.
Because I think it's going to too much roll on us. The grass all going with us. Now if we go up on the edge of the house.
Well, that's the only way we can go.
It gets to the pin that way.
What with the 9?
Pitching at 40. Can we get a good enough contact on?
8? How long are you 8?
I don't think we can.
Front is 30?
34.
Don't you think I could just get a good one?
I think you can. In fact, it is a good night. Because it is going to have a bit. Then you can come a bit left as it beats for us.
What's the pin?
The pin is 51. There's a little bit into it. But we're looking to pitch it 40. What's the 40 playing? Even if we pitch it a little bit less, mid-30s, we're still okay. 8 brings it back into play.
But this should come out okay.
I think it is, because the grass is all going with it. Let's just be aggressive and hit it.
Barry, you should have seen the up close we had of her face. She took a little deep breath and shut her eyes, kind of like, this day is wearing me out.
Yeah, that was going to wear you out from the rough, but David described the lie perfectly. It's a little wispy, it's down grain, slightly side hill. Should come out nicely, but with very little spin. That's a bit of a knuckleball, but it's also left.
She had some fortunate bounces. And it's going to be on the collar, not quite on the green, but still, we'll have a putter in her hand. Go back to 12. This is Ariya Jutanugarn for birdie. So she's running out of holes if she wants to become the #1 player in the world. We'll go back to 10, and this is Salas with her second.
148 yards for Lizette. This is a 7-iron. Doesn't have to try and really get too much of it. She never really does go after the irons that much. Into a slight breeze. Takes it nice and cleanly. A little left of the hole.
A nice shot.
See the slope on that green is back to front.
Minjee Lee for birdie here at the 11th. This to get the 17 under par. Kind of a double breaker. She misread that one. Got it started out too far to the right. And back to 10.
And here's our leader.
Just a smooth 7-iron from 147 yards, right at it.
Oh, I don't know if it hit the back edge of the hole or it just hit a hard spot, but a straightforward jump.
We'll take a look at this again. The first bounce looked consistent. And then after that, watch what Judy was talking about. Just takes off. It did not hit the hole.
I wonder, did it just barely graze the flagstick?
Could have. Still, Shen Shen Feng with a great start, 4 under in her opening 9. She leads by 2 over Salas. Today's coverage is brought to you by the new Volvik Vibe, an ultra-soft tour ball for any swing speed. Feel the vibe. CME Group, how the world advances. And by Wing Grips, the best grips in golf.
Every day, you can wake up feeling...
Minjee Lee now on the par 3 12th, playing 172 yards today.
Hole not too far back from the front of the green.
Yeah, front right pin, and it's a really nice shot.
That little breeze is the only thing we've had this week. Let's look at Minjee for just a second. Beautiful square setup. Good shoulder turn, good hip turn, transitions to her left side, and really stays in the shot well. She doesn't come out of her posture until long after impact, and that is the key to staying in the shot. It's not because your head comes up always, it's because your entire body comes up. I like to say that good players watch the flight of the ball with their eyes. Poor players, high handicappers, like to watch the flight of their ball with their chest.
Go to 14. Ariya Jutanugarn with a short par 5, her third. Settle. Back pin on a bit of a flat spot up there. While we have a moment, let's check out course setup presented by the Golf Course Superintendents Association of America. And golf course playing just under 6,600 yards for this championship event and annual blue. And the fairways and the greens, though greens are a little spotty, but they are rolling very true. John Seafield doing a nice job here this week.
Hey, we got to meet John yesterday, yes. And he's certainly done a wonderful job here.
Jung Yoon Lee here at the 11th, third shot.
Yeah, this is tracking nicely from over the green.
Man, he's getting down there. I'd say like a laser, okay? What a shot.
Pretty impressive. 3 birdies in the last 4 holes.
On a good roll, moves her to 16 under, just 3 back, so making a run.
Back at 10 for that big hop. Shen Feng now putting from the collar.
This for birdie, and it's going to be quite a speedy little putt, almost a bit of a double breaker as well. Through that fringe, could roll a little left, and as it nears the hole, probably bend back to the right. The speed was good.
Pretty fast putt. She barely touched it.
Yeah.
We'll go back to 14, and we saw Moria Jatanagarde with her eagle attempt, this for birdie. All right. We'll count as a one putt. Check out this card. Goes out in 31. Got a couple of birdies on her closing 9. And she's suddenly 7 under on the day.
Stacy Lewis here at 11th. Her chance for birdie here.
Jim, she got off to the kind of start she wanted. 3 birdies in the first 5 holes, but it's been nothing but par since. Needs to reignite.
Yeah, she's just a few fairways and greens, but when she has had an attempt for birdie, she's taken advantage of that. So
yeah, she's been hitting approach shots pretty well and has made some good strokes the last few holes. Just hasn't seen the ball drop. This is a little bit of a mini double breaker. It should push off to the right initially.
Yep, and went left at the end. That has really messed with the players' minds there. It's kind of right on a little bit of a ridge there.
Back at 10, here is Salas for birdie.
Up a diagonal ridge that'll throw it a little to the right.
A little more pace, it may have dropped. So Salas will have a short tap in to remain at 17 under for the championship. But it is Shen Feng looking for her 7th LPGA Tour victory. She leads by 2 as the leaders make their way to the back 9. And yeah, let's have some fun here in Ann Arbor on a Memorial Day weekend. This is Minji Lee for par. She remains 3 back of the leader, Shen Feng. And we go back to 10, and this is a moment ago. This is Suzanne Pedersen trying to save par. She knocks that in.
Good save.
Yeah, even on the day, though, and she is losing ground quickly. Playing in that final group, she's currently 6 back of the lead. So the other 2 competitors made par as well.
And that's the 11th tee, and that's Shen Feng.
Pretty straight hole here. Only thing that frames it is a fairway bunker on the left that pinches it in a little bit. Also pinches in a bit on the right. And that is pretty much right in the driving area.
Jerry mentioned Shen's only missed 6 fairways this week.
Oh, well. Oh, you just totally jinxed her.
I did. Of course I did.
That rolls pretty near the primary cutter rough, but I think she'll have a pretty good swing at that.
Yeah, it's right on the edge.
Yeah, left to right. Not much, pretty quiet right now. Anyway, not right. Just, you know, go left to right.
South?
Perfect. There you go. Frontal.
And we got Salas 3 under her round today, 17 under total.
Not really doing anything that looks like it's threatening making a mistake either, Jim, and that's kind of a nice feeling, I'm told. Yeah, just automatic right now. That's down the geometric center of the fairway.
Mm-hmm. Sprinkler line down there with her driving.
We go back to the 12th, par 3, Jung-Yoon Lee on the tee.
Coming in off that chip in, that's a 7-iron. Has a really good line.
Got to bounce up just a little, and it's moving nicely. She's got a pretty good look now for birdie. If she makes that, she'll move to 2 off the lead. A reminder, the LPGA Tour heads to New Jersey, where Anna Nordquist is the 2-time defending champion. Can she three-peat? We will see. You don't want to miss a moment of the ShopRite LPGA Classic. Our coverage beginning Friday at noon Eastern. Go back to 12, and Stacy Lewis looking to recapture some momentum, Kay.
Yeah, and Todd, interesting, while they were waiting for the green to clear, she was off to the side, kind of squatted down with her head down, just probably having her own little pep talk, saying, come on, you know, you have to have pep talks with yourself often throughout the course of a round.
And a broadcast.
Exactly. And see if she can start it with something here. Oh, yeah.
Very nice.
Good
Beautiful.
The previous shot that you saw jump up on the green that would not have happened on Thursday or Friday here, as the golf course was very, very wet.
So Stacy Lewis looking to make a birdie there on the 12th hole. If so, that'll move her to within 4 of the lead. So take a look at this swing. Former #1 in the world. Making a win for the first time since 2014. Birdies are falling here in Ann Arbor, Michigan. It is Shen Shen Feng leading by 2 over Lizette Salas.
The 11th hole, Shen Shen Feng's second shot on the par 4 11th.
And it looks to be a little bit of a flyer lie here, too, Jim. 151 yards, slight breeze out of the left. This is an 8-iron, slight uphill lie.
Got this lined up quite a bit to the right of the flag.
And that's exactly where she hit it. Quite a bit right of the flag.
Yeah, maybe she thought it was going to go a little more left out of that lie, but that was right where she aimed it, so not much you can do there.
Julia Molinaro now, her 3rd at the short par 5 14th. She's 6 under so far in a round. This chip for eagle.
Boy, and this is a big day for her, because Julia has only cashed 3 checks all year and missed an equal number of cuts. Big day for her. Beautiful round.
Yeah, opportunity for birdie there.
This is the 13th hole. Minji Lee from the fairway, looks like on the left side. She's got it all the way down on the flat portion of this fairway.
I think it's this club. Oh, yeah. I agree with that. Just, it's perfect. Four or 3/4? Yeah, it comes at 3/4 now.
Got a little right to left wind in this whole location on the left side, just short and left of the mound. It's in the middle of the green. You take dead aim at this flag. Good shot there. Leaves herself an uphill putt for birdie. Minji Lee at the 13th. Now, Lizette Salas is second here at the 11th.
Just a smooth 8-iron, Jim. 138 yards to the hole. Starts off a little, holding its line nicely.
Needs to get up a little bit there. It does. Okay, good shot. Pin high. It's a good opportunity for birdie at the 11th for Salas.
Back at 12, this is Jung Yoon Lee for birdie.
Left to right breaking putt for her 4th birdie in 5 holes.
She said earlier this week that her goal was to finish in the top 10, and I said to her caddy, I said, should she elevate her goals just a little bit? And he said, the way she plays, she should.
Back at 14, this is Molinaro for birdie. Oh. We jump back to 12 and Stacy Lewis after that great approach for birdie.
Has to make this. Oh, Judy, she, you know, The holes are frittering away.
And the frustration continuing on the back nine for Stacey Lewis.
Playing such solid golf, but having a hard time finding the winner's circle.
It is Chen Feng leading the way as the final group makes the turn. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Choosing putter here, Jim, which is a little surprising to me. She is in the, well, I guess it'd be the second cut of color, because it's not quite the primary cut, but there's a dry patch right in front of her ball that makes putting this a possibility. She does not struggle with her chipping, so she has to like this one a lot better.
She made one from off the green, but a little smoother than this.
And that did hobble. Didn't hurt the speed much.
No.
Or the line.
Or the result. Yeah, very good.
She is a player that doesn't hem and haw about what she might do. Something strikes her right off, and she carries on. Doesn't waste a whole lot of time.
Yeah, I like that. And usually with her putting, she's pretty aggressive, and I like that style. Moria Jatanagarn at the 15th. This whole location on the way back portion of the green. Might go a little left. No! Went a lot left. And she has hit some good putts. She had a good one over at 13 and now at 15. Now we're back at the 13th. Minji Lee. We saw that nice second shot she hit in her just below the hole, going up the hill. Starts a little bit slow. If it falls, it ought to fall a little to her left. 16 under par. 5 under on her round today. So yesterday struggled a little bit most of the day. Really never got anything going, but today back at it again. Yep, started just left of the hole the whole way. It's an easy.
Our leader, Chen Feng, on the 12th.
That 172 yards, Jerry.
Yes, and this looks pretty promising in the air. Oh, just a half a bat short, but the right part of the hole to leave it under.
– 27-year-old Chen Feng not making any mistakes. Bogey-free yesterday. No bogeys today. And now Lizette Salas, who is our closest competitor, 2 back. Also 27 years of age. Next on the tee.
She carries a couple of these, what I like to call muzzleback irons. I believe this is the 5-iron. It's almost like a utility, but it's got no bulge and roll on it like a wood would have. It's a flat face.
She's a student of Joe Hallett, same as Stacey Lewis.
Started off right, turning a little bit back, but going to miss the green.
You want to know how she felt about that? One thing I really like about her golf swing is she only swings her arms back as far as her body can turn. It's something that she and Chen Feng kind of have in common in their golf swings, and it's part of what makes their golf swing look simple.
While we have a moment, let's look at the United States Solheim Cup point standings. Again, the Solheim Cup this August in Iowa. And there you see Lizette Salas in 15th position. If she goes on to win here this week, she's going to really vault up the standings. 60 points for the winner here, so she'll get to 177.5. And on that note, the 15th renewal of the most exciting event in women's golf comes to the U.S. As I mentioned, Iowa, Des Moines Golf and Country Club. The Solheim Cup. It's August 18th through the 20th, and it's exclusively on Golf Channel and NBC.
And Des Moines may be hot, but it is a hotbed of golf.
Yes, they love their golf there.
Yeah, it's a place everybody's looking forward to going to.
This is Ariya Jutanugarn for eagle after that great second.
I think she's only had a lukewarm putter. I really think that's been the problem.
Jutanugarn now will go to 11 under. And there you see the leader, Shen Shenfeng from China. Very popular amongst fans and players. Pretty simple approach to golf here on the world's greatest tour. Work hard, sleep hard.
On the course, I always have poker face, and people would think maybe I'm a very serious person, but actually I'm not. I'm a pretty silly person. And what my coach says, my coach Gary Gilchrist, he says, train like a champion, but sleep like Shan Shanfeng. So I wish if I can actually show you the pictures, because I can fall asleep like anywhere, like in the airplane, in the car, or even like outdoor somewhere. I can just sit down and then fall asleep. So I mean, that's maybe one of the keys, like why I can play well.
I will say this: if you happen to have an opportunity to play in an LPGA Tour Pro-Am, and you get a chance to play with this young lady, you will have a great time.
You will have a great time. And my question about that sleep pattern is, isn't that the sign of a clear conscience?
True. Usually after.
Guys, that was just a pitching wedge from 132 yards.
That needs to get up.
She hits it a good distance with her irons.
It was just a moment ago. Now Stacy Lewis at the 13th.
100 yards on the nose. Got to hit this right at it.
Yeah, you can. You can carry it all the way back there. That ought to spin some. I didn't quite get the backspin, but that'll work.
Yeah.
To 12.
Jump back to 12, and this is Salas after coming up short and right.
Not a real easy shot, not a great lie at all, sitting down into the green, which always makes it harder. Has a little bit of green to work with. The only saving grace is that green slopes toward her. What you have to protect against is running it by. That's a tough putt.
Oh, it just killed it, and it could have just let it jump forward. Bunker would have been easier, Jerry.
Oh, yeah, no question. Especially that up green lie is just a killer because you don't have the club head speed to ensure any kind of decent contact.
Salas will wait for her fellow competitors to play, and as we wait, I want to remind you that you can make your next round the best yet with advice from thousands of golfers like you. Head to golfadvisor.com for course reviews, facility ratings, and best of lists. Golf Advisor by golfers for golfers. And now Shen Shenfeng about to hit from off the green.
Yeah, but it looks very smooth, that fringe portion of this hole, and it's uphill, turning a little right.
Seems very relaxed and at ease, Jerry.
That's just her nature, and I think that comes across in the little bit you guys just rolled in as well. It's just, I've never seen her stressed out. I've seen her in airports and restaurants, and she's about as laid back as you can get. The reason she can fall asleep is because sometimes it appears she is.
We jump to 14, and this is Minjee Lee, her second at the par 5. Yeah, hang on. It's a great shot.
Back of that green is pretty firm.
And pretty popular. We just saw Ariya Jutanugarn there. So Lee will have that for eagle. We'll go back to 12, and Salas for par.
And the hill the entire way. Outside chance at par. Was that their caddy Benito? They didn't really look at it too long, so they're pretty convinced what it does.
guess so, Jared.
Yeah, I'd have 3 written all over it the whole time, Judy.
So Salas will hang into form there at 2 back.
Even she said, wow, if you could catch that.
Putter has saved her all week.
Jin Yoon Lee now for birdie at the 13th.
This is a great spot to be putting from. However, there is a bit of left to right break. It'll be interesting to see how much to the left she plays it and with what speed.
She's got at least 12 to 14 inches. It's a big breaker. Never got it out there, though.
Nope.
Comes right off that fringe. That's probably the biggest breaking putt on the green.
We're at the par 3 16th back pin location. This is Moria Jatanagarn after missing the green.
This par 3 is 190 yards today. It's a very interesting green. Beautiful. And it is playing as the hardest hole on the golf course.
Yes, it is at 190 yards. A little bit of a kidney-shaped green in that pin back right. Back to 12, Suzanne Pedersen trying to find a birdie.
Man, got a great read from Lizette, and this is for a desperately needed birdie.
She gets that to get back to even on her day, but still 6 out of the lead.
Sun Yoon Park will have her attempt for birdie, or excuse me, for par. Threw it in the right rough, did she, Kay?
She did. Off a downhill lie, was in between clubs, hit it just over, and then really a poor chip that she thought, I think either combination would be a little faster, and then just didn't catch it right. So made a good par save on the 11th hole. See if she can do the same here. It's a good 15-footer.
Wow, that ain't good.
Fill it up.
Yeah. Very confident stroke there. Great read.
That'll save a poor chip in a minute.
Mm-hmm. Stays at 15 to par. Nelly Corda for birdie at the 15th. We've seen this putt go left, so I think it's about a ball out on the right edge just to get the 13 under. Did she? Yeah. There you go. Sister Jessica shot 65 this morning, so yeah, there you go. Back-to-back birdies. Stacy Lewis now for birdie at the 13th.
Oh, for the second hole in a row, I say this is a must make. She got a good read off of Parks. Frustrating. Doing everything you can tee to green to set up the chance and then not converting.
Now back at the tee, Shen Feng.
A little in front of the tee, Jim. Is that driver?
It looks like a driver, yep.
Yeah, there is water up the right side of the fairway if you get it over the hill, but that only comes in play for the longest hitters. I know Suzanne hit first with a 3-wood. She is a pretty long hitter.
I can get this down there as far as you can to get a flatter lie.
Yeah, well, I guess when you don't miss fairways, you don't have to worry about the water.
Exactly. Perfect tee shot. 2 good tee shots. There's Suzanne Pedersen ball just ahead there. And now Lizette Salas on the tee.
Shenzhen generally about 15 yards longer off the tee than Lizette.
Full routine, even though she knows she's swinging as good as she has in a long time, still does all the stuff the same, because that's your comfort zone. When you things get a little nervous, you fall back into that routine, everything kind of, all those nerves kind of settle a bit.
Yeah, that's what most of the teachers try to get you to do, to repeat it, because when things start changing, that's when you're losing a little bit of confidence, especially in match play. You always watch to see if your opponent changes anything, but with the Volvik Championship, everybody's having a good time this Memorial Day weekend. I'll be right back.
We asked people to write down the things they love to do most on these balloons.
Travel with my daughter.
Roller derby?
Nice scoring, especially from leader Shen Feng. Here is her second on the par 4-8. Had 2 birdies earlier in a round. Let's make it 3. It's that close. That would move her to 18 under for the tournament. And now here on the 9th hole for birdie. Bins perfectly in. I'm at 4 birdies in her opening 9, a 32 for her, and she is leading by 2. This is Min-Ji Lee for Eagle to get within 1 of the lead.
I keep thinking somebody's going to make it off that back fringe.
A lot of golf left, Judy. You can see it. Still a nice birdie for her. And so Min-Ji Lee is going to move to 17 under, 2 back. Look at that stretch of birdies after the 3rd hole.
It's the 13th green. Looks like Shen Feng will be first to play.
Behind it, you have 6. Yeah, a little right to left.
112 yards. Plays a little uphill, Jim. There is a slight little baby tailwind that should negate most of that. This is pitching wedge, so just a controlled, smooth one. One fairway that you never want to get steep on it, whether this one, because it is so soft underfoot. She usually picks it pretty cleanly, though.
She's at 6 of 12 greens today. The green's been holding nicely. Yeah, there you go. Solid. Not surprised. Perfect yardage for her. That Salas should be next to play.
5 yards closer, 107. Was that 2 never really struggles with getting too steep on the ball. Both of them together are greenskeeper's green.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, it's the right number. Trust it.
I watched Lizette hit a couple buckets of balls earlier this year. I can't remember the city, but when she got done in the range, you couldn't tell she was there.
Yep. Just bounce right. Okay.
That released nicely. That's about 12 feet just below the hole, going straight up the fall line. So got away with maybe one there.
Yeah, Benito knew instantly it was going to be okay. I was wondering the whole time.
She didn't think so. Pedersen's second shot.
He threw it off the tee in front of both their drivers. It's just 104 yards.
She's been working on kind of a solid-off follow-through on some of these short irons.
That was a gap wedge. Good line.
Yeah, there's a different swing she put on the field yesterday. That was a better swing. I like that. Good control of the spin as well. So 3 good opportunities for birdies for this final group at the 13th. Shen still with a 2-shot lead. Some great scoring conditions out here at the Volvik Championship. We'll be back.
The stars of the LPGA.
Under the hole up the hill, Jim, I know you do your homework more than just about anybody in our business, and I'm guessing it turns right, it looks like it, but I defer to you.
Yeah, it breaks quite a bit, Jerry. It's a little more, if she was a little more to the left, it'd have some more break, but when you sit there and look at this putt, it doesn't look like it breaks that much, but most of the players have not played enough break.
Well, easy not to keep the speed up because it's a pretty slow putt as well.
I always like to try to pick a spot out there just by the hole, trying to make it a straight putt, especially on the left to right putt to keep the putter face square going through.
That's exactly how Shen putts all the time. That's why she does so much better on left to righters than a lot of players.
Just never got her started out far enough. That's also a fact. Part of the portion where the green really drains, a lot of the water drains down, so there's not a lot of grain on bent greens, but there is right on this green. So much pitch from back to front on this green.
16th hole now, and this is Nelly Korda for birdie. Nelly currently tied with her sister Jessica Korda, who shot a 65 today. She's 13 under in the clubhouse.
Suzanne Pedersen now for her birdie.
2 in a row would be nice, and there should be no doubt in our mind what this does. But even though you've just seen it, still your eyes don't see it when you're lining it up. It's just tough to believe it.
Especially when you had anything going your way, but you're right, this is huge, especially with her length on the next hole, par 5. Good view there. She got it out far enough, actually too far.
Just hammered it.
Yep. Might have been a result of the putt before, so she's got a good 2.5, 3 feet by. Take another look. Watch as she gets right there and just pops it hard, and just more of a pop stroke than a... Sometimes you try to force those left to right putts, and that's the result. Trying not to get that putter face wide open. Frustrating day for Suzanne. She will not stop now. Shen Shen for her birdie.
She likes to hit this length putt in with a lot of speed. You don't really want to do it on this one if you miss.
She's been solid all week. That's her 5th birdie of the day. 20 under par. Going to the par 5 14, so 3-shot lead now. So she'll have this left for par.
That's a ticklish one.
Yeah,
you don't expect a highly trained professional to ever miss one this length, but this is quick and it does move left.
It sure does.
You don't expect it, but it does happen.
Yeah. Sometimes when you're trying to force a putt. That was good. That was solid. You got to hit those like that sometimes, Judy. You can't just kind of wiggle it down. They just got to go ahead and pick your line and trust it.
There are those times in this game when you simply have to grit your teeth and do what you know is the right thing to do. I think most of the time I always recommend do what you're best at, but every now and then your hand is forced.
Exactly. This is the 15th green. Area Chutanigar drove it in the left rough, then hit it over the green. Now this is for par. This putt right here is fairly straight. If it does anything, it could go right, but she can be somewhat aggressive. It's an interesting hole location. It's all the way back on the back portion of this green. Didn't see it back there. She's tied for 21st. She beats it right in the middle. It's got the left edge. You're right, Judy. You made that comment earlier. She has struggled on the greens and hasn't been comfortable on them. Speed's been off.
She's one of the best putters I've ever seen. For someone who has such a strong, physically strong golf game.
Yeah, great short game too.
14th hole. This is Shen Shen Feng leading, and got driver.
Indeed, yeah. Shen Shen not an overpowering player, but should have a crack at this one and two with a good tee shot, and got the first part of that equation down. Oh, a little bit of roll as well.
Moria Chutanigar, and this is her 3rd shot at the 17th. Came up just short in that kind of the low, a little bit of the rough. This ought to release a little. Not too bad from there. This whole location has been very accessible for the players. It's actually given up about 16 birdies, so that's quite a few birdies on this hole.
Back to 14, we saw Stacy Lewis.
This is good practice for the upcoming majors. Needs to hit a flop shot out of the deep rough. Yeah, not what she was looking for. And that was always going to be a tough little shot, though.
Meanwhile, back at the tee, Zed Salas.
Not 100% sure whether I put the back or not there. Steve.
green. No?
Was that third to play? Suzanne just bombed one, but unfortunately was quite a ways right. So she'll have some problems to deal with in trees on the right, but you wouldn't expect that out of Lizette. There is a little breeze from the left, starting to pick up some, and there are some storms forecasted. There's a possibility for this afternoon, so maybe not a good sign at this point, but I think we'll be okay. That's right down the middle.
You see the course drying out from rain earlier in the week. A little bit of roll there. So it is Shen Shen Feng with the lead. And those chasing her are running out of holes and need to make a move here in Ann Arbor. Today's coverage is brought to you by Volunteers of America, helping America's most vulnerable. The new Volvik Vibe, an ultra-soft tour ball for any swing speed. Feel the vibe.
Raised guides help hands feel their way to alignment, to lock in consistency.
Yeah, Sun Hyun Park just made a birdie ahead, so she's at 16 under. This is to get to 17. Oh, that hurts. Failed to get it up and down out of the bunker.
When we talked about this, Kay, this 14th hole, the par 5, easiest on the golf course this week. You walk out here with a par, you're disappointed.
And definitely going to the next hole, which is playing difficult.
This is the area of Jatana Garden on the tee at the par 3 16th, 190 yards.
It's a very long, narrow green that kind of takes a turn to the right in the back where the hole location is today, and that's not really hard to do. It's very tempting to try to get the ball all the way back, but then you really have to have it on line.
Stacy Lewis, by the way, tapped in for par on 14. We go back out to the fairway.
Either way is good, so you can start right at it. Exactly. Yeah, either way is good. So you don't have to worry about it. You got room either way, left to right. Left to right. Left to right. Porque del lado izquierdo, acuérdate que los two bunkers donde están los carros, hay espacio para correr. Del otro lado hay espacio para correr. Exacto. So, just cross it. And let it go.
Yeah.
You can do that.
Yeah.
But I like the combination between English and Spanish.
English.
Nice. Distance is 204 to the front edge, 225 to the hole, and just 229 over the green. Breeze out left feels like it's helping. Very flat fairway. Never going to get a bad lie. This is out to the right.
And the thicker rough around the bunker.
Could be worse, but the hole in the back portion of the green will help that shot.
Put a Shen Shen. What does she have, Jerry?
214 to the hole, just 193 to the front. This is her 3 hybrid. And really, like Judy mentioned earlier, there was no questioning. It was just 3-3. Okay, hand it to her and go. So simple looking. The process certainly is.
All you have to do is carry that last front bunker.
I think that has that carried quite easily.
Yeah, great shot.
Oh, yes, this is going to be nice.
Yeah.
And Shen Shen Feng continues her great play. She'll have that for eagle. She makes that, she'll have she'll be at 22 under for the championship.
Yeah, I would say eagle here might settle the argument.
Suzanne Pedersen now last to play.
Yeah, not often do you yell 4 off the tee and find the ball in the fairway. Got a great bounce off a few branches and then a few hills right of the fairway. 206 to the hole. This is a 4-iron.
Boy, every now and then she is just really hitting one a long, long way off the tee.
Yeah, the changes she has made last year under Butch and now under Jorge Parada have really unleashed that distance that she had earlier in her career and then seemed to have lost 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, she certainly was at one point a good 20 yards short of this.
It's safely on. She'll have that one for eagle. Suzanne Pedersen not quite having the day she anticipated. Even par through 13 holes, but it is Shen Shen Fa